For centuries we believed Earth was ours alone, a world carved by time, shaped by nature, and ruled by humankind. But hidden beneath mountains, oceans, and deserts, there are secrets that defy every history book. What if the stories of gods and visitors from the sky were not legends, but memories of a truth so shocking that it was buried in silence? Tonight we pull back the veil. Tonight you will see the Earth as it was never meant to be seen, long before telescopes searched the skies and satellites mapped the globe. Our ancestors whispered of beings who descended from the stars. These were not fairy tales told around campfires, but warnings etched into stone, carved into temples, and sung through generations. In Mesopotamia, in Egypt, in South America, civilizations separated by oceans shared one striking belief: gods came down from the heavens, bringing knowledge that changed the course of humanity. But what if they were never gods at all? What if they were something else, something alien? The clues are scattered everywhere. Imagine standing before the pyramids of Giza, towering above the desert. Blocks weighing tons, cut with impossible precision, aligned so perfectly with the stars that even today, scientists struggle to explain how it was achieved. Now travel thousands of miles across the ocean to the jungles of Peru, where the Nazca lines stretch across the earth, giant figures only visible from the sky. Who were these lines for? Not humans on the ground. They were meant for eyes that looked down from the heavens. Our history tells us humanity was primitive then, hunter-gatherers, stoneworkers, fragile against nature. Yet evidence suggests advanced engineering, mathematics, and astronomy appeared suddenly, as if gifted overnight. Could it be that the arrival of these so-called gods was the very spark that pushed mankind forward? And if so, why did they come? Every ancient text leaves hints. The Sumerians wrote of the Anunnaki, beings from the sky who shaped humankind. The Mayans spoke of Kukulkan, a feathered serpent who descended from the stars. Even the Bible describes fiery chariots in the heavens. Different names, different stories, but the same truth woven beneath them. Earth was visited, Earth was changed, and Earth was warned. But here lies the mystery. Why would visitors from beyond leave warnings in plain sight? What were they trying to prepare us for? Were these messages about knowledge or about danger? One possibility is that these beings did not leave by choice. Some myths say they promised to return. Others suggest they were driven away. But imagine this. What if they never left at all? What if their presence has lingered, hidden in shadows, buried beneath oceans, watching us as we built cities and empires, watching and waiting? Civilizations rose and fell, and with them the truth faded into myth. The warnings became legends, and legends became bedtime stories. Humanity forgot. But stone remembers. And the earth itself carries secrets. It cannot hide forever. From unexplained ruins deep beneath the sea to mysterious signals captured by modern technology, the evidence points to one chilling possibility. The warnings of the past are resurfacing, and now, in the present day, the pieces are coming together. The more we look, the clearer it becomes. The ancient world was never silent. It was screaming. We simply chose not to listen. For thousands of years, humanity has walked across the earth blind to what lies beneath our very feet. But the truth, like a shadow, cannot be erased. It waits silent, patient until someone dares to uncover it. And in recent decades, discoveries have shaken the very foundation of what we thought we knew deep beneath the oceans. Divers have stumbled upon cities that should not exist. Off the coast of Japan, the Yonaguni Monument rises from the seafloor massive, stone steps and terraces shaped with mathematical precision. Official stories claim it is a natural formation carved by the sea. But when you look closer, the angles are too perfect, the cuts too deliberate. Nature creates chaos, not geometry. Someone or something built this long before human history. Dared to begin. And Yonaguni is not alone. Submerged ruins in Cuba, in India's Gulf of Kamhet, and in the waters of the Mediterranean suggest that advanced civilizations once thrived and then disappeared without a trace. If these ruins are real, they are older than Egypt, older than Mesopotamia, older than every so-called cradle of civilization. But how could such advanced knowledge exist before humans even discovered writing? The answer is terrifying in its simplicity. Maybe it wasn't human at all on land. The mystery only deepens. Across the globe, ancient sites seem connected by invisible threads. The pyramids of Egypt align perfectly with Orion's belt. The Mayan pyramids in Central America mirror the same celestial map. Even Stonehenge in England and the temples of Angkor in Cambodia align with astronomical events that would require extraordinary knowledge of the skies. Did ancient humans suddenly master advanced astronomy on their own? Or were they following instructions given by visitors who studied the stars because they came from them? Then there are the artifacts, the ones that defy explanation. Strange carvings that resemble astronauts, rockets, and flying machines created centuries before the idea of flight ever existed. In Colombia, tiny golden figurines shaped like aircraft. In India, texts like the Vedas describe machines called Vimanas, flying crafts that soared through the heavens armed with weapons of light. If these are metaphors, why do they sound so much like the technology we use today? But perhaps the most chilling evidence lies not in stone or text, but in the DNA that runs through our veins. Scientists have discovered sequences in the human genome that appear out of place, like they were spliced in. Why does humanity's evolution leap forward in ways no other species on Earth can match? How did our brains expand so suddenly, allowing us to build societies, write languages, and create technology? Could it be that we are not fully of this Earth? That we carry a fragment, however small, of something alien within us? And if that is true, then the warnings of our ancestors take on a darker meaning. What if the beings who gave us knowledge were not saviors, but something far more complex? Teachers, perhaps, experimenters, maybe, or even colonizers shaping us to serve a purpose we do not yet understand. Governments have noticed. They have known. For decades, secret files and classified reports have spoken of unidentified objects in our skies flying faster than any aircraft, breaking the laws of physics, vanishing without a trace. Whistleblowers speak of technology hidden in underground vaults of crafts not made by human hands. Yet the truth never reaches us because the truth is dangerous. The truth could change everything we believe about ourselves, and still, the evidence grows. Ancient structures that whisper of otherworldly architects, myths that echo across continents, DNA that carries mysteries locked inside us. It all points to a reality we were never meant to face. We are not the first intelligence on this planet. And we may not be the only ones here now. The question is no longer if they came. The question is, why did they stay? Asterisk, for centuries, our search for answers has been framed by one question: did they come here? But the real question is far more unsettling. Not did they come, but why are they still here? The shocking truth is this: the visitors never left. They have been with us from the beginning, shaping our world from the shadows, guiding civilizations, watching our progress like farmers tending a crop. And in the fragments of myth, the ruins of stone, and the secrets buried in government vaults, their presence has been waiting for us to notice, look closer at our history, and the pieces fall into place. Civilizations rise, achieve brilliance, and then collapse, as if by design. The Mayans vanished, leaving behind cities of stone. Easter Island's people carved enormous statues, then disappeared into silence. Entire empires burned out, not from war or famine, but from something stranger: sudden absence, sudden silence, as if a hand had pulled them off the board. What if those vanishings were not natural at all? What if they were adjustments, interventions made by those who hold the blueprint of our destiny? Now consider the acceleration of human progress. For thousands of years, we lived simply stone. Tools, fire, survival. Then, almost overnight, civilizations bloomed, writing appeared. Mathematics, astronomy, medicine, all arriving far earlier than they should have. Was this a coincidence? Or was this a gift placed in our hands by those who needed us to advance, but only just enough? But here lies the darker layer of the truth. Ancient texts do not just describe gifts. They describe battles in the heavens, wars between gods, weapons of light that could destroy cities in an instant. The Mahabharata of India speaks of terrible weapons that turned sand into glass eerily similar to nuclear explosions. In Mesopotamian stories, skyfaring beings fought for control of Earth itself. Were these not myths but historical records of alien conflicts? And if they were fighting then, are they still fighting now, above us, unseen? Modern evidence suggests yes. Pilots have reported objects darting through the skies, defying gravity. Naval radars track craft plunging into oceans at impossible speeds, only to emerge unharmed. Governments admit they cannot explain these encounters, yet they downplay the truth. These are not simply visitors, these are residents. They are here. Beneath our seas, within our mountains, maybe even beneath our cities, cloaked in technology we cannot detect. Earth may not belong to us alone. The greatest shock, however, is not that they remain, but what they may be waiting for. Whispers of abduction, experiments, hybridization all point toward one possibility. Humanity is part of a larger plan. Perhaps we were created, altered, designed to carry their legacy. Perhaps Earth itself is not just our home, but a laboratory, a seed bank, a colony prepared for purposes we cannot yet understand. And then there is the silence, their refusal to reveal themselves openly. If they are so powerful, why not step into the light? The answer is as chilling as it is simple. They don't need to. We are already under their control. Not with armies or weapons, but with time, with patience, with the shaping of our history. Every war, every empire, every leap in technology may not be ours at all, but theirs, nudging us toward a destiny scripted long before we were even aware. This is the shocking truth. Humanity is not the master of Earth. We are the inheritors of a design we cannot see, trapped in a story we did not write. And the authors of that story have never left. They are here waiting, watching, hidden in plain sight. The myths were not lies. The ruins were not coincidences. The warnings were not fantasy. They were fragments of a reality too vast and too terrifying to accept. But now, the evidence can no longer be ignored. And the question burns brighter than ever. If they are here, if they always were here, what are they waiting for? The answer may be closer than we dare to imagine. The truth is no longer buried. It rises from the ruins, it echoes through forgotten myths, it pulses in the silence of the night sky. And with that truth comes a consequence darker than anything humanity has ever faced. We are not in control. We never were, for if these beings are here, if they have always been here, then every choice we make, every step of progress, may already be part of their design. Think of it. Our sudden bursts of innovation, our mysterious leaps in science, our obsession with the stars. Do you believe it is coincidence that we now race toward space, desperate to colonize Mars, desperate to escape Earth? Or is it because something or someone has been guiding us, pulling us forward, preparing us for a moment we do not yet see? But hidden guidance comes at a cost. Throughout history, knowledge has been suppressed, locked away, buried by those who understood its danger. Ancient scrolls vanished in flames, artifacts disappeared into private vaults, witnesses silenced. Governments of the modern age have followed the same path. Denials, cover-ups, secrets hidden in steel rooms deep underground. Why? Because the truth is explosive. It would shatter religions, topple governments, and strip away the illusion of control that holds civilization together. The world is built on order, and the truth would bring chaos. Imagine waking up tomorrow to the announcement that humanity is not alone, that Earth itself is shared, and that we are not the masters of our destiny. Fear would ripple across every nation. Some would turn to worship, others to war. Borders would collapse, leaders would fall, and the fragile balance of power would dissolve in panic. The Watchers know this. They have always known. And so they stay hidden, allowing humanity to march blindly, shaping us with whispers instead of open hands. But not all consequences are distant, hidden in myth, or locked in secret files. Some are here now. Reports of missing people, millions vanishing without explanation. Lights in the skies, ships rising from oceans, shadows caught on cameras, dismissed as tricks of the eye. What if they are not tricks? What if they are evidence of the same beings who shaped us in the past, continuing their work in the present? To them, we are not sovereign beings. We are a resource, a creation, a project still in progress. And the most chilling possibility of all, what if the project is reaching its end? What if their silence has not been indifference, but waiting? Waiting until we reach a stage where the truth cannot be hidden anymore. Waiting until we are advanced enough to serve a new purpose or advanced enough to threaten them. History may already hold the answer. Civilizations erased without warning. Cultures silenced without reason. Were these not collapses of human failure, but demonstrations of control? A message written in the ashes of the past. When the experiment goes wrong, it is reset. Now, as humanity stands on the edge of artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, and space exploration, we face the same turning point. Are we advancing on our own, or are we being pushed? And if we are being pushed, is it toward freedom, or toward a destiny that ends with us no longer human at all? This is the consequence of the shocking truth. The conflict is not in the future. It is already here, hidden in governments that lie to protect us, in myths that carry warnings we forgot, in the silent watchers who move through the dark unseen. And the question no one dares to ask is the one that echoes louder than all others. When they finally step out of the shadows, will they come as saviors? Or as rulers? The answer will decide the fate of humanity. The answer will decide whether we rise as a free species, or fall as the final chapter of a story that never belonged to us. And so the stage is set, the watchers remain. The evidence grows. The truth spreads like fire through the cracks of silence. And somewhere, hidden from sight, those who shaped us are waiting. The invasion may not begin with war. It may not begin with weapons. It may begin with a truth whispered in our ears. You were never alone. You were never free. You were never the masters of Earth. This is the consequence. This is the conflict. And this is only the beginning.